Hey guys, Drifter here. It's with a heavy heart that I have to announce that for the first time since 2009, there will not be an in-depth this fall, and probably not for the Modern Warfare 2 remake at all, unfortunately. So as far as MW2 is concerned, in-depth is canceled. And I think it's a very convenient time to do that because I originally started my career back in 2009 covering Modern Warfare 2, and now over a decade later it's come full circle. There's a remake, and it just feels like a really good time to pass the torch on to somebody else. And yes, we'll talk about why in just a moment, but as a retrospective, the in-depth series is what I built this entire channel on. It's what I built a huge portion of my life on, so letting it go isn't very easy. We had around 1,000 episodes, probably 700 to 800 of them in CoD, and maybe 100 or 200 amongst other games. It helped millions of gamers get better at Call of Duty and sometimes gaming in general. The show was popular enough to weirdly be syndicated on Amazon now. I'm not sure how that worked. And I think in the far future, it'll be considered foundational to the gaming guide video genre here on YouTube. I didn't invent that. I might have been one of the first few people to make it very, very successful. And the successes for the series weren't just monetary or view-wise or anything like that. The series actually inspired fans, viewers, to join NASA, to become scientists, to become doctors, to pursue educational endeavors. I literally have a letter from a fan saying that In-Depth was the reason that they joined NASA to do aerospace engineering. So that warms my heart up. It's kind of weird now when I talk to other content creators. A ton of them grew up in middle school watching me make in-depth videos. So we've done a lot of great things with that series. We've saved lives too, actually. We had some charitable works. We had some suicide prevention stuff baked into some of them that ended up saving lives, which is quite good. And it also created some bad stuff. The whole skill-based matchmaking disaster almost cost me and several of my family members their lives when the community didn't take to it very well. And despite all of that, all of the good and all of the bad and the thousands of episodes and all the work that had to be done, I'm still personally not ready to quit. I actually kind of want to do in-depth. I just can't do in-depth. And the obvious reason for that is my health is bad. That's the story that's been on this channel for like the last 2 years, blah, 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 Drifter sick, whatever. And as you might have seen from the update videos, we finally figured out what's wrong and how to treat it. And so far the treatment is going well. So far my prognosis is actually quite good. Most doctors expect me to make a full recovery, but I don't know if that's I don't know that for certain yet. I still have 4 or 5 very important tests coming up. I have to get a sonogram of my heart. I have to get an endoscopy, which is tube down your throat, a colonoscopy, which is tube up your butt, and probably one of these very unpleasant nerve conduction studies where they put all the needles in your hand and make you move them around. So that's not going to be very fun. But the general prediction is that I will be able to return to normal. The problem is that throughout this ordeal, I have fallen down very, very low. A not insignificant portion of my nervous system has been destroyed. My endocrine system is out of balance. I have muscular atrophy. It's more profound in the left hand than the right. And it's mild, thank God, but it's there and it's bad and it's insanely weak. So as much as I want to do this, I just kind of can't. I realistically can't play games. I can't do my own research. I can't be active and in the community enough to have an authoritative opinion, and doing anything else feels just disingenuous. And that kind of leads me to the next topic, which is a little bit of what happened with Vanguard in depth. I think we ran 10 or 12 episodes of that before I just quit. I was doing that in the worst of my health situations. It was extremely difficult for me to do an episode, and it also kind of flirted with a fine line of me BSing too much. I was unable to do my own research for Vanguard in-depth. Exclusive Ace stepped in. God bless him. The man's a saint. I don't know why he did any of this. He gave me all of his stats and just told me that I could use them. I had J-Hub get the majority of the gameplay for it, and it felt wrong to just edit stuff from stats and use other people's gameplay, so I still was forcing myself to play the game, even if it's only a couple of rounds a day, just enough to actually understand what's going on, and just that little bit ultimately hurt me a lot. I was hurting myself a lot to make Vanguard in-depth, and the quality wasn't great, and it also felt borderline unethical because of how much of the brain power I was outsourcing and how little I was playing the game. So at a point, it was just not worth it, and I decided to cancel that series. And it's kind of the same thing here with Modern Warfare 2 in depth. If I were to do that, it would be heavily outsourced. It wouldn't be me directly playing the games. It would be me being at least a little bit deceptive here. So I just felt that it was better to not do it than to do it wrong. And if you were really looking forward to in-depth from me, if you really want those multiplayer stats and Warzone stats, I just have some recommendations for you. If you want multiplayer guides, Exclusive Ace is the best. He's probably been better than me for the last couple of years, at least, if not more. So I would highly recommend checking out Exclusive Ace for Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer guides. If you're interested in the Battle Royale and Warzone aspect, JGod is kind of the king of that right now. JGod does a fantastic series on that. True Game Data, also very good. I've had nothing but positive interactions with JGod. Great person, not only online, but in real life. And the same is true of True Game Data, so those guys are fantastic. And then finally, a lot of the gameplay that you've been seeing on this channel, including the one in this video right now, because I'm still doing physical therapy here, is all from J-Hub. So if you want to see somebody that gets really good gameplay, you could also go check out J-Hub. That's pretty much all for this update. I just wanted to let you know that In-Depth is on hiatus. It may come back next year. It may come back for another game. It may come back when I get healthy. And it may not come back at all, because there is always the chance that the damage to the nerves is permanent and I just might not ever be able to game again. So then the question becomes, what's next for Drifter on YouTube? And the honest, truthful answer right now is that I don't know. I'm 100% winging it every day with every content piece that comes out on this channel without a real plan, and I can't plan ahead because I have no idea what my health is or isn't going to do, and even the medicine that I'm taking to make me feel better kind of has me a little wobbly some days, so it's very difficult to plan ahead. So I guess I'm just going to wait until I'm well enough to plan ahead, and then we'll have some more interesting things. In the meantime, I think what I'm going to be doing is some media retrospectives and reviews, planning some product reviews, headsets, chairs, things that I can get my hands on and play with, but don't have to actually grind out hours of stuff for. Planning some food content, some local Texas content, some opinion pieces, gaming retrospectives. I'm kind of just doing the shotgun strategy and trying 4 or 5 different things that are familiar to me that I think I can do well enough, and see kind of what sticks here on the channel. And then once you start seeing me game again, regularly streaming here, which is coming hopefully in the near future, or posting a lot of gameplay and things like that, that's when you know things are going well. That's when you know that I'm getting healthy, and that's when you know that In-Depth might be coming back. So guys, that's all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something useful over the last couple decades, actually. Wow, it's kind of really hitting me here that I'm wrapping this up, and this might be the last In-Depth ever. That feels really weird, but I hope that all of the work has helped some of you in some way, because that was always the goal. Drifter out.